You okay?
Whose birthday is it?
It's Truman.
Hey everybody, we are live.
Hi.
And Truman always gets so excited when he hears the show music. You hear him starting to cry. I don't know if it's cry, sing, or what.
Who
Patty,
knows?
keep the fort down for a
All
second.
right. Hi, everybody. I was just looking here at everybody that's in the house. Oh, my goodness. We need to say hello to Jen Goodyear. Glad you're here. Howdy says, dreaming out loud RVing. Whoop, something just happened.
Whoop, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. It went.
Whoop, I won't stay there. All right, there you go, Truman. There's your
Oh, it
birthday
went.
sign.
Hold on. Something went wackadoodie on my end.
What happened?
I don't know. Sam's here. Hi, Sam. I think I'm back now.
All right.
Yeah. MJ and Izzy and Jason are here from Endless RVing.
Welcome, welcome.
Donna Delahante. Sparkle Army says they're ready to win, win, win.
Woo! I don't know that we're going to win much tonight, but
Hi, Aurora Diana.
welcome from up in Canada.
Avenger RV Adventure.
Welcome, Stephen.
Dreaming Out Loud RVing.
Welcome.
Glenn Larish.
Gosh, we got a big house already
He
tonight.
says he's from deep in the bunker in New York. Don't be afraid. You can't get anything through this computer.
Hey, well, we hope
Glad
you're staying
here.
safe.
Yeah. Russ and Carrie from Rosie Romer here.
Welcome, Russ and Carrie, moderators for tonight's live stream, because we know how rowdy this group gets.
Joyce Moses is here. Mark Milinarski.
Okay,
Michael McFarland. Alyssa and Michael are here.
welcome.
Terry Long.
Hey, Terry, welcome, out in Virginia.
Don't want to miss
All
anybody.
right,
RV
so-
reviews by the Air Force guy.
Hey, Paul Chamberlain in the house.
Stop, Eat, Explore.
Paul has been doing, hey, Dave and Susan.
Yeah?
Paul has been doing live streams almost every
my
night.
gosh.
And what's great about them is they're very educational. And so make sure you check out when Paul's live streaming. Sometimes I don't catch them live, but then I go back and rewatch them because there's so much good information.
Your niece Sam's here. Joe Hoffman. Kathy Mayer. Rodney Sleeth says Rod Endeavor here.
I just seen one pop up. I don't know where it came from because I've never seen them come from the top like that, but it said Todd from up in Canada,
Oh,
so
cool.
welcome.
Phil Hampton.
Hi, Phil and Judy.
Wayne Kern.
Welcome, Wayne.
Bill and Sherry, their would-be wanderer.
Welcome.
Hi,
And-
Allison. She says, I like your TWD shirt. We're twins. She has hers on.
So Patty thought I should wear my TWD hat tonight, but it's a
Yeah.
winter hat. And if I put it down, my ears will get cold or warm. So I was doing something funky with it.
Adventure Bandits are here.
Hey,
And
Adventure
the
Bandits.
Fitches are here.
Fitches, Dave, Andrea, unless Andrea's working.
Summer's
Okay.
going coastal.
Brenda's here, McGinty.
Yeah,
Hey,
hi,
Brenda.
Brenda. The best of us, the Floros, says, hey, y'all.
Hey, I hope you guys are staying safe. I always worry about you working in the hospital.
Yeah.
Even though you're delivering babies, it still worries me.
still
So,
scary,
yeah, just
yeah.
being in the hospital. So, all right, it looks like we got a great group tonight. And so tonight we're going to do something different that may totally backfire on us. I don't know. But we had several requests to do a Travels with Delaney trivia night
Yes.
where we would ask you questions about our videos, and then we would share some behind the scenes information, things like that. So we're not going to do the traditional like Family Feud or the dating game or whatever that was we did the last time. I guess it wasn't the dating game.
The
Well,
match
that's
game.
what match game, yeah. Dating game's what we've got planned next. You're going to win a date with Russ Balbarona. So
Oh. Here
let's
we
see.
go.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't get happy hour earlier tonight, so I decided to go ahead and make this happy hour. So I have.
And Bess is chiming in.
So I have the this week I'm on Bloody Marys until I run out of V8 juice. So
Might need
that's
to-
tonight's beverage, and I don't know why she's
I
so
don't
excited.
know. We need to say hello to Nursing, our travel dog.
Welcome.
RW here says woof woof.
Hey Bob, did you see Bob? I've got my Bob and I talked earlier, and hey
Bessie,
Bess,
come here, baby girl.
Bessie, come on over, and
We have to grab her. I'll go grab her. I'm right here saying hello to your dad.
okay. Hi Dad. Hi Marilyn. So anyway,
Come here.
yeah, so we're doing a happy hour. It was funny. Somebody had made a comment from yesterday's video that during the video you could tell that Truman and Bess were misbehaving. And they said they could tell between the two of us who was the middle school teacher and who was the college teacher, because Patty was like eyeing them. She was making gestures to get them under control. I just kept talking. Like, it didn't even faze me.
It was driving me crazy.
Yeah. And that's pretty common. Years ago, I remember I was teaching a class and students in the back were talking or something, and I would just always just talk through them. And I remember one time a couple students came up at the end of class and they complained. Well, they didn't complain. They just said, hey, those guys in the back are being so disrespectful of you. You need to do something about it. And I said, they don't bother me. I just talk louder. And their comment was, that's great, but we can't understand what you're saying because you get louder, they get louder, and we can't really focus. So I do have a tendency to not discipline like I should.
Let me just say a few more hellos before we start.
Okay.
Lippy Lisa Lipsticks.
Hey,
Cheers
Lisa,
to
welcome.
you. Todd Addison in Canada.
Yep, that's the one I saw, Todd up in Canada.
Says we drink Caesar, same as Bloody Mary.
Bloody Caesars,
but
yes.
with Clamato juice.
Yep, I used to have a guest when I was in the hotel business. We did a happy hour every evenings, and we had a couple guests from Canada, and I would actually go out and buy Clamato juice for them because they preferred Bloody Caesars. And for a long time, I got hooked on Bloody Caesars.
Yeah.
But with the coronavirus thing right now, I was just fortunate to even get the V8 juice. Normally, I just use straight tomato, but the V8's working, even though I put a lot of stuff in. I put Worcester in tonight. I usually do hot sauce. I do some Old Bay seasoning, some celery salt, some olives, some olive juice. Did I put it? Oh, and horseradish. Yeah. Plus the V8, plus the vodka. So.
No.
All right, are we ready to get started?
I think so.
Okay, so we're going to start off with some really easy questions. I'll read the question, throw in your answer if you think you know it, and then some of these are going to progressively get harder as we go. So let's see how well you know us and our channel. And I'll be honest, we had to do some video watching.
I had to do a little binge watching.
The past couple days, and
get some ideas.
And I don't know. We especially that first season, what I call season 1, which was the going west,
Yes.
going east. It's when we very first started. Some of those videos are almost hard to watch, especially episode number 1, because we were like robots on
bit.
camera. I mean, so anyway.
I don't know.
How many trailers have we owned since the channel started as Travels with Delaney? So how many trailers have we owned since Travels with Delaney, the channel, started in June of 2017? Yes, 2017. Man, so Patty, you'll have to see what kind of answers we're getting.
Real quick, I want to say hello while the answers come in to
Okay.
Deborah Sleeth, Amy Pletcher,
Welcome, welcome.
okay, and Kirk Miner. All right, 5, 4. Randy Mercer says 3. And we have 3 and 5 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and
Okay.
5. Robert Stitch says 2.
Okay,
Rambling Eric 4. The Best of the Floros 2.
okay,
Amy
We're finding out
says
who really
2,
knows this.
maybe 3.
okay.
Lots of 4s and 5s. Jen Goodyear 2, Phil Hampton 3, 4, 4.
I see my father says 3.
RW says 4.
4,
Rex
5, 6.
008
I just saw a
says
6.
2, 4, 4, 3. Someone says 3.
Okay. So,
Fifth wheel counts as 3. Says Paul, the Air Force guy.
yeah, okay.
3, 3, 6.
Maybe I misstated the question. Well, okay. So the question was, how many trailers have we owned since we started Travels with Delaney in June 2017?
To the channel.
So I will just tell you, in total, we have owned a crap load of trailers. Okay. In fact, but not while not while we've been as Travels with Delaney. What's that?
Terry says 0, still paying the bank.
Yeah, well, that should be the correct answer, Terry. So, in terms of total trailers that we've ever owned in our life, let me go through them. It's sad that I can go through them. We started with a Tab. It was one of the old Dutchman Tabs.
Yep.
Very first trailer we ever owned. Then we had a Fleetwood Resort EXT that we owned for like 6 months. Shortest amount we've ever owned a trailer. We had a big old Jayco, like 30-some feet.
Yeah.
And then we had a Hornet. We had the Cougar fifth wheel, which we owned the longest of any trailer, which was 8 years. Then we had the Vintage Cruiser. the Jayco Hummingbird, the Tab 400, plus I had bought my sister's trailer that we had parked in Florida. So technically we have owned 9 trailers.
Crazy.
But since we started Travels with Delaney, the correct answer is 2. We
Had the Jayco Hummingbird.
Now, some of you might have went back into our archives and seen the walkthrough of the vintage cruiser, but we weren't actually Travels with Delaney back then. That was when I just had a channel and I would just upload weird stuff. But since we started in June of 2017, when we started the channel, we had the Jayco Hummingbird. And then that December is when we traded on the Tab 400. So the correct answer was 2. Now, for bonus points, can anybody name what, everybody knows we call the Tab 400 Carl, but does anybody remember what we used to refer to our Hummingbird as?
And while they're thinking here, they're saying, man, sorry guys, but Bess is the most entertaining right now.
Yeah.
And David Richmond says, my wife thought your dog looked like a rabbit. That's what we thought this
We
morning,
thought
too.
the same thing. I told Patty this morning she'd make a
good
great bunny.
rabbit. And someone said, man, that's a crap load.
It is. If I had all the money that I lost on every trade, we would be rich.
Hi, Shelly from Seattle. Shelly and Jeff.
Oh, hey, Shelly. Hey, Jeff. Glad you guys stopped by tonight.
Okay.
So, we getting any answers on...
Okay, Leaky.
Leaky. No, that was actually the vintage cruiser. That's good.
Gone.
Gone. I like that.
Seals and Craw.
Does anybody have the right answer? Surely Dad got this one. Dad had the number wrong. He had 3.
He had 3?
Yeah.
MJ needs to say, there's nothing cuter than watching a dog chomp on a bone like she's doing.
And actually, Truman's doing the same thing. He's just harder to say.
Aurora Delaney, Hummingbird. But what's the name of the hummingbird?
Yeah, but what's the name of the hummingbird, Aurora?
She's close.
Yeah. That was the question.
Tramp stamp.
So, the name of the hummingbird was Buzz. And everybody thought it was a Disney reference, Buzz Lightyear. It wasn't.
No.
It was because it was a hummingbird, and so it was like a bird, buzzing.
Someone guessed bird.
Okay, so there you go.
Next question.
All right, next question.
Thank you guys. They love Bess. She's just entertaining.
She is a cutie. So today, if you didn't know, is Truman's 2nd birthday. He's 2 years old, and so he got a delivery today from Fromm's, which is the pet food company that we use for Truman and Bess. And so I had ordered a bunch of new treats in because I didn't want to have to go to the store. And if you go to gofrom.com and you order at least $49, free FedEx shipping. I placed the order yesterday morning, maybe around 10 a.m. It arrived. Now, part of that's because of where we live, because Fromm's is located up in Wisconsin. But that was crazy that it was delivered today.
Yes.
So he's pretty excited about his new pot roast Crunchios.
Couple hellos here to Brian Drawnick. Hello. Rodney Sleeth. I don't know if I said that one already.
You said Deb, but Rod's here.
Mary Beth.
Welcome.
Kimmy B. She says, hi, Patrick and Patty, Truman and Bess from Sweet Home Northeast Alberta. And everybody's saying happy birthday to Truman. Life Rerouted. Hi, Olivia. I miss you too, honey. Hope you're doing okay. All right.
Okay, so somebody said they thanked me for showing some Colorado
That's
love.
right,
Yes,
that was
my
Michael.
Breckenridge shirt. We've been to Breckenridge twice now. Only once on camera, though, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
all right.
here we go.
Here we go. During season 2, which was the series called Summer to Wander, in what state did I go looking for a boondock site up the side of a hill, only to come to a gate, and I was forced to back down a hill with drop-offs on both sides? So what state? I'm not going to get into... we tried to keep it simpler, but does anybody remember what state we were in the episode where I went looking for this boondocking site that was going to be amazing?
Montana.
It was not Montana.
While people are thinking, I want to say thank you so much, Bob and Terry. They say you guys are awesome.
Oh,
when are we
thank you.
going to Maryland again? I don't know.
I don't know.
About
We need to go to Maryland.
Yeah.
We actually haven't been to Maryland since
Golly.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
When we went out to my cousin's, and unfortunately
reunion, yeah.
we had a family reunion, and it was a good thing we did it then, because
lost a
unfortunately
couple
we've
family
lost a
members.
couple of those family members
Okay, Idaho, Arizona,
Okay.
North Dakota,
We'll let all-
Oregon, Wyoming. Ronnie Slee says panic. State of confusion. Wyoming, Montana, Colorado. Someone said, well, Todd Addison says, your nephew was with you. Yes, he was.
Yes, you're right. In fact, there would be no
Illinois.
footage of that had it not been for Alex, my nephew. So the correct answer is North Dakota. We were right near Teddy Roosevelt National Park, and there was this boondocking site on Campendium that people raved about because at night they said the stars, it was big and open, the stars, the wildlife. And so we had gotten there late afternoon, and we followed right to the GPS coordinate. And when we got there, and it was this forestry road, or I guess it was forestry. I don't know.
It was.
But when we got to the actual GPS point, it was like a V in the road, and there was clearly not a parking spot or a camping spot there, because even though they're boondocking spots, usually you can tell where somebody has boondocked. There'll be a fire pit. So I said to Alex, I'm like, well, this can't be it. It's got to be around here somewhere. Do we go left or right? And he said, let's go right. So I proceeded, and we started climbing pretty darn good. And I got to this point where there was a big turnaround, and I said to Alex, I said, maybe we should just turn around right here. We were hauling the Tab 400 in that at that time.
And it's how long again? 18 foot?
18 foot, yeah.
Someone's asking.
And Alex goes, oh no, Uncle Pat, I think it's right around the corner. And I didn't even think. I mean, I should have said, let's think about this. Let's get out and walk. I just take off around the corner. And now we're going up with drop-offs on both sides. Now, I don't want to make it sound, this is not like Colorado Mountain or anything like that, but it was pretty steep.
Yeah.
Like you would not have wanted to went off the side.
No.
And we finally get to the top, and as I start to crest, there's a fence. I can't go any further. And I remember just getting this really dry feeling in my throat. And so initially I tried to turn the trailer around, but at that point we had went from drop-offs to just the opposite. We were now in like as we had gotten close to the top, they had carved out the road, and there was no way I was going to turn around.
Right.
And so I said, I'm going to have to back it down. I literally have got to back it down, and I'm going to have to make those corners. And luckily, Alex said, hey, Uncle Pat, would you like me to film it for the channel? And I said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And he filmed it, and we took it real slow, and I was able to get back down. But the funniest part that I don't remember if it was on camera or not, once I got back down to that turnaround, that's when I just said, I got to get out and get some fresh air. And so I got out, and I remember Alex says to me something like, do you need a hug, Uncle Pat? And I said, I go, no, I need a bottle of water. I have cotton mouth. And he was dead serious. He goes, what's cotton mouth? So then I had to, as I can't hardly breathe because my throat's so dry. But it was one of those things a lot of people thought I probably edited out a lot of cussing. No, honestly, I stayed calm. I won't lie.
So focused.
I was just so focused because every time I would slowly back down, and as I would kind of ease off and we'd start to roll, then I would hit the brake again, and you could literally hear the tires sliding on the gravel.
We're going to die. We're going to go down this
And at one point, I said to Alex, and this might be in the video, I said to Alex, hey, Alex, is there enough room for your Aunt Patty and Truman to get out? Which would have been on the passenger side. No. And he walks to the front of the car, and he goes, yeah, there's a good foot or so. And so Patty goes, do you want me to get out? And I was like, no, just stay in. Because my thinking was at that time, if Patty got out, if for some reason the trailer started to pull me over the hill or something like that, I knew I could open the door and roll out. But I didn't know how I was going to get Patty and Truman out. But yeah. So anyway, that was the scene from season 2.
Glenn Larish says you backed up like a pro. A lot of folks remember that footage. They said it was crazy. Mary Beth said that.
And the video didn't even do it justice on how tense it was.
So was it next time, do not listen to Alex.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I remember saying to Alex as we were standing there, I'm like, you know what? It's not like I don't watch a ton of YouTube. And I had watched enough YouTubers who always said if you're going looking for boondocking sites, either walk ahead or put up your drone, which at the time we owned a drone.
Yeah.
Why I don't know. It was just...
Okay.
Okay.
Real quick before we do the next question, I want to say a couple things here. Olivia, a student of mine's on here watching. Thank you, Olivia. And she's asking, when can they get back into school to get your things? I don't know yet, Olivia. They're trying to figure that out. I think it's going to be near the end of May.
Things you never thought you would hear students say, when do we get to go back to school?
Because I know they're not letting us back in for a while, and then they have us.
okay.
We always have to clean out our rooms, Olivia. So it's going to be near the.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. So they talked about in end of May time. So there should be announcements later on, but they're working on that, honey. So I don't know. If
Okay.
there's something specific you need, I just call the school, and maybe they can get it for you and meet you outside or something. Okay,
All right.
here we go.
So it kind of became legendary that Patty and I have favorite snacks when we travel. Do you know what my favorite snack is and what Patty's
And
favorite snack
I
is?
tried to lay off this snack for a while, but that is my favorite.
Who knows? It felt like the first season. That's all we ate
Yeah,
on video.
you're welcome, Olivia. Yeah, it seemed like that's all we ate, and it's like, no, I can't eat those all the time. So,
Okay.
all right, gummy worms and M&Ms.
Hey.
Gummy worms and M&Ms. Gummy bears.
Yep.
That's
Apparently, this was too easy of a question. So
gummy
yeah.
bears and peanut M&Ms.
Yeah. So it was always gummy bears for me. Patty liked her peanut M&Ms, and
Hey,
yeah, we tried to lay off of those.
I need to grab her. Good guess, though. Beef jerky, he does like beef
do
jerky.
like beef jerky.
Oh, and Pringles, those are good too. Panda, well, right now, well, we haven't, but we were on our Panda kick, a Panda Express. When Sammy was in the hospital, we'd get our Panda and get her some Panda, but we haven't had Panda in a while. No,
It fell.
no
Yeah,
Panda.
okay.
Yes, me, peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, that was an easy one. Let's see here.
Next question. Hi, Bob and Terry.
Oh, I thought that was the next question.
No.
What state were we traveling in season 1 where we had to dodge tornadoes for several hours to get from point A to point B? So what state? This was in season 1. It was
Yep.
the series called Going West, which was our very first time ever YouTubing. We got caught in a really bad line of storms,
It was crazy.
and we had to dodge tornadoes for
Okay.
several hours.
Iowa, Texas, Kansas. And yes, Allison, frozen Cokes were my other obsession.
She was on frozen Cokes, but she's not.
No.
You haven't had a frozen Coke in
No.
a long time.
Texas, Missouri, Iowa, Kansas,
Oklahoma. These are all good guesses.
Kansas, Iowa, Oklahoma.
Because that would seem like a state you would dodge
Yeah.
tornadoes in. The same way with
Yeah.
Kansas. I see Kansas
Yeah.
on there.
Cynthia Stewart said that.
I will tell you
Kansas,
this.
Kentucky.
Kansas is where we were headed that day.
We were trying to get to
Kansas.
Kansas.
Yes.
We were so badly. It took us
Jen Goodyear says Kansas.
Florida, Kansas.
Oh, I wished it was Florida because that would have been so much easier because the tornadoes in Florida aren't nearly as bad as they are in this state.
And Olivia, you're right.
Nebraska.
I do like dark chocolate too. You brought me a nice dark chocolate candy bar. Olivia's talking to me.
Adventure RVs said Nebraska, and we did, but that was when we were tent camping that we had that really violent storm.
Nebraska, Ohio,
So the correct answer was
Iowa.
yep. We had left that morning Cedar Rapids. I had visited a community college in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and we had to get to Kansas City. Well, we were actually headed to near Lawrence to a COE park, but I had a meeting the next day at Johnson Community College in Overland Park, Kansas. And so, we didn't think anything of it. I got done with my meeting, we headed out, and as soon as we got to Des Moines, we had just turned south on whatever the main highway is there at Des Moines. And it started in. I think we maybe went 10 or miles or so. Had to get off. I think I went back east like 10 miles.
Yes, they were.
And there's video in that particular episode. You see us sitting at a gas station. We sat there, and then a limb actually fell on our Hummingbird, but it sounded like the world was coming to an end. And I said, we're going in. I don't care if they're pet friendly. And I remember we ran over. The wind was just gusting, downpour. and there was a gal and a guy. They were both employees standing at the door, and they opened the door as soon as they seen us coming. We had Delaney with us.
Yeah.
And I said to the gal, I said, I know you're not pet friendly, but we're coming in. And she goes, oh, you can bring her in just as long as she doesn't make a mess on the floor.
And
so
then you made a joke.
So I looked at Patty and go, no messes on the floor. And so, but they were so nice to let us come in. But then we ended up backtracking north to a Walmart where there it was sunny on the north side of Des Moines, had dinner, and finally we said, and we debated, we talked about going over to Omaha and down, and finally I just said to Patty, well, let's just go. And we probably spent, I don't know how many hours, because literally Patty would be watching our radar scope, which puts up tornado boxes. And I would drive until she'd say, Patrick, you need to get off at the next exit. Another tornado box is right in front of us. And we'd pull off and we'd set. And I remember at one point in the evening, it was getting pretty late, we pulled off and there was a Quality Inn that was pet friendly.
And that's what Mary Beth says. They let you wait in the lobby.
You remember that? Yes, Mary Beth, you're right. And we were just going to get a room, and they were out of rooms. But they said, you just stay in the lobby as long as you want. And we waited till there was an opening. And I think that was the last time. We made one last, and it was weird. It was just like all of a sudden that evening, we got far enough south that that was it. And then by the time we got to the COE park, which I think was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
It was late.
It was actually nice there.
It was very nice.
So, yeah, anyway, that's the story behind.
Before you do the next question, Stop Eat Explore has a question.
Okay.
Patrick, are you wearing a hat because you need a haircut?
No, actually, I cut. See,
cuts his own
for
hair.
anybody that watches Steve Turtle, you know, Steve Turtle says he has his wife cut his hair because he's cheap. And I told Steve Turtle, I'm really cheap. I cut my own hair. I don't even pay my wife to cut it. So no, Patty thought it would be cool.
And thank you, Olivia. The dogs are.
It might have
too.
made me look younger or just stupider. I don't know.
It was supposed to be your game hat.
Yeah, okay.
You know, your brain
I could have
waves.
worn a baseball cap. I don't have much left anymore, Dave. I do have some, but
Poor boy. All right,
okay, that was a good
question.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I already gave that one away.
You talk a lot.
I know. And we think we already gave that one away.
Yes, you did.
So, because we already talked about which relative went to Glacier National Park with. Okay. What Oregon city did we attend their 4th of July parade 2 years in a row? In what Oregon city? And Jeff and Shelly, don't you say anything because you were with us. Does anybody remember what the name of the town was in Oregon that we have attended their 4th of July parade the last 2 years? And it's probably one of the best 4th of July parades I've ever been in.
They're fun. Amy Pletcher has a question. Are your pups St. Charles dogs?
Yes.
Yes. Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. Yes.
And they
They're
both
brothers,
have the
sisters.
same.
Okay, Bend, Oregon. Sisters, Oregon. Bend, Oregon. Are the questions coming in?
Okay,
so far?
Portland.
Eugene, Portland.
They both have the
Portland.
same father, but they have a different mother.
Shelly said, I almost did, LOL.
Yeah, and Shelly. I know Shelly knows because she was with us. Gresham.
Someone says no, but it was beautiful. Yes, it was.
So
Texas, Bend. Yeah.
Portland. I see another Portland. No, actually, and you can go back, and it's in both seasons. It's both in Summer to Wander and Summer of Someday. But it was, and I see a couple more coming up here.
Neatarts.
Neatarts is so close.
So very close.
We stayed in Neatarts, but we went to Rockaway Beach. Rockaway Beach does this amazing 4th of July parade. I mean, it is the quintessential small town America 4th of July parade. It's not lots of, like here in our hometown, we have a nice parade.
Sorry, Shelly. This is the only one I can get.
Yeah. Our hometown has a nice parade, but it's a lot of like fire trucks and police cars and a lot of tractors and things like that. But in Rockaway, it's local citizens or local organizations doing all these crazy floats, and it just is so personal. Like you just can see the pride in the town. And then the way they clear the street when the parade is over is they bring in a fire truck, a tanker truck, and they literally shoot water down the street to push people out. And so, you know, if the first summer we went, it was cold and rainy, so people were scattering anyway. Last summer it was not, and so all the kids are running into the street to get wet. And so if you're ever in Rockaway Beach or near Rockaway Beach, Oregon at the 4th of July, that is a great 4th of July
Shelley
parade.
Johnson says it's a lot of fun. Yes, it is. We had so much fun. So much fun.
So somebody just asked about Truman and Bess, what breed they were. The next question leads right into the next question. You know these guys are Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, but do you know what was
breed?
Delaney?
Yeah,
what breed was Delaney?
Yeah. Give you a hint, she was purebred.
She was a pure. Yep.
Yep.
Even though people would sometimes say she can't be pure, and then I'd have to say, well, I have AKC papers that prove otherwise.
Yeah.
Let's see how many people know this one. What breed was Delaney?
Someone's like, oh man, I gotta go back and watch. Okay, Cocker Spaniel, following the Fitches. That's their guess. Cocker Spaniel.
Springer. Rodney said Springer. That's a good one. And a lot of people did think Delaney
was a Springer.
This because she was a little bit bigger.
I'd like to say hello to a lot of people coming on. Greetings from Pennsylvania. I think it's Eliu Cornell. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
Cocker, golden
Cocker,
retriever.
golden,
Oh
Springer.
gosh, Robert, no, she wasn't that big.
Olivia wants to say hi to you so badly.
Oh, hi, Olivia.
Golden retriever, Cocker Spaniel, Cocker Spaniel,
Yep.
Cocker Spaniel, Cocker Spaniel, Springer Spaniel.
Oh, somebody said. Oh, Glenn says he had one named. I had one named Love. Oh, that's nice. Springer
Charles
Spaniel.
Spaniel, Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah. So Delaney was actually an American Cocker Spaniel. She was purebred, and I know that because I registered her with the American Kennel Club. We never did anything with her, and that's one of the reasons, even though these guys came with papers, I never registered them because we realized it didn't do, But, so yeah, Delaney was a Cocker Spaniel. And for those of you that don't know the story of Delaney, because a lot of our newer subscribers think our last name is Delaney.
Yeah.
Delaney was our Cocker Spaniel when we started the channel officially in June of 2017. And one of the things that I never thought of was that Delaney would die.
Yeah.
I mean, you just
don't
don't
think about
you
that.
don't think about things like that. And unfortunately, that summer we traveled also. We started the channel, traveled all summer, came home. We knew she was sick. We thought if I remember right, she had a cough, a really bad cough
weird
or something.
cough, yeah.
And that's what we took her in for, and that's when they found her cancer. And we tried different things, but we ended up losing her in January of 2018.
Well, thank you. The best
So-
of us, the Flora said she was so beautiful.
she was. And the thing was,
She was a good dog.
I mean, I remember being at Yellowstone that first summer, and if you go back and watch any of the Going West series when we're in Yellowstone, there's some clips of where people are coming up and, taking photos with Delaney. Like they wanted to come up and take their photo.
Remember that one, the gal from Canada, her name was
Her name was Delaney. Yeah, and she wanted to get her picture
with
taken with our
Delaney.
Delaney. And, and I was just like, you drove all that way to Yellowstone and you want your picture taken with my dog.
I like Glenn's comment here. It says, it's a good thing you didn't name it Patty.
Travels with Patty.
Yeah. I like that.
So anyway, but yeah, she was a beautiful,
Yeah.
and she was your typical Cocker Spaniel. She was very moody, temperamental. Her and I were pretty,
had a
yeah.
connection
Her
more than
Delaney
I
and I had a connection. Hey, Bess.
No. Amy
She doesn't want to talk
Fletcher
about.
says we have a Cocker Spaniel named Casey.
Oh, nice, Casey.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it is hard to lose a fur baby.
Yeah, and it was, and so okay.
Yep. Next question.
So that was the Delaney question. Okay. During last summer's travels, we had to abruptly leave Northern California and drive very quickly to Portland, Oregon. Why? Why did we have to
Boogie back to Portland.
last summer?
We had to go quickly. We did.
There was a reason.
We had to get back there.
We'll see if anybody can get this one. I could give it. Well, let's see if there's anything that pops up. If nobody has a clue, then I'll give you a clue. If nobody
baby.
knows, I'll give you a clue.
Sissy, what are you doing?
Okay.
Oh, I don't see anything yet.
Oh, hi, Bill and Kathy, up in New York. Hope you're staying safe up there.
Barb, Ohio. So I had American Cocker Spaniel, a great dog. I don't see any. We have to give him a hint, babe.
I know these guys.
Okay,
These
hold
guys
on.
tend to get dogs.
Fires,
Oh, that's actually an excellent guess.
beer.
Yep, had to go back for my reindeer.
Aw.
Wildfires.
Fires, beer, Heater wouldn't work. This is Adam from Florida.
Yep, and I see another one. Brenda McGinty says you were out.
Glycol, the fairy, forgot your sewer hose. Needed to
go to the bathroom.
More
Yeah, they don't have
M&Ms.
bathrooms in California, Dave.
More M&Ms.
M&Ms, yeah. So yeah, Brenda and Adam, and maybe some others. I didn't see all the comments.
Yeah.
Got it right. Our Aldi system quit working.
Which runs the hot water and the heat.
Yeah.
Which we didn't
So
have
for a
heat,
couple
but-
days, we had no hot water because the Aldi is not only your heater. We were fine because obviously it wasn't cold enough to need a heater. We had no hot water for like 3 days, and our glycol tank was empty. And so the closest dealer that had it in stock was Apache RV up in Portland, Oregon. And so we had originally planned to go further south in California, but because we absolutely needed hot water, we ended up backtracking to Portland, Oregon to Apache, and we filled up the glycol tank, figured out what had happened, because I know I get a lot of questions from people. And Paul, you might be able to answer this because I'm not 100% sure on the answer. I have lately been getting a lot of people saying, if the Aldi system is a sealed system, why would you lose glycol? Now, I know why we lost glycol, I think, because I do know there's a relief valve if it builds up too much pressure and it can drain out the bottom. But why? I think it's because it just slowly evaporates over time. But maybe Paul can chime in on that if he's still in here.
There's some funny answers here. Needed more Bloody Mary mix. People were stealing things from campsites. We had heard about that.
Yeah, we did get a little scared about California because it was mainly because of all of our West Coast friends.
Yeah, freaked
who,
us out.
when we got to the Campout in Oregon, I mean, literally, and I don't know if anybody is in the room tonight that was at the Campout. A lot of people at the Campout looked at our lock system on our trailer and went, seriously?
What? Yeah. That's
Like, they
fancy.
kept telling me, like, your tab is going to get stolen out here unless you guard it 24 hours a day. Because apparently out on the West Coast, tabs obviously have value. And
Someone says, what stopped the problem? How
well,
did you
okay,
fix it?
so what the problem is, okay, so some of you might remember from that prior Christmas, right before Christmas, and this was in videos, our glycol tank had a crack in it. And I ran to Sugar Creek on like a Thursday. We were leaving for Florida on Friday for Christmas. And the factory put a brand new tank in. Well, they ended up, and I didn't realize what they had done at the time. They had to put in a new pump and a new tank. They flushed the system, and I guess to get the air out, they had turned it on continuous.
Yes.
And they had cranked the Aldi motor up as high as it would go. And so, in essence, what I was told was it kind of ended up cooking out our glycol because it was circulating on a number 5. Normally, they say to run it at about 2.5, 3 pump speed, and it wasn't thermostating. It was just constantly heating it up, and it was constantly circulating. And we didn't know that. I mean, you might say, well, if that was in December, why did this not happen? Well, because we basically never ran the Aldi.
Didn't.
We only ran it a couple times in Florida.
And then
And then it went into storage for most of the winter. And so it was on that trip. We thought the issue had to do with high altitude, but it didn't.
No.
We don't think. So
because Terry Long says they have the same problem with their Tab 400. So that's why she was asking.
Okay, yeah.
So
So you might check to make sure on the digital display panel that it's not on continuous. You want it on thermostat. And also, if you get underneath where the actual motor is or the pump, there is a little dial setting that goes, I think, from 1 to 5. And you want that, they tell me, at about 2.5 or 3.
yeah, because Brenda McGinty said, I asked my RV guys and they didn't think it should lose it, which it shouldn't lose it.
Well, yeah,
Too much?
and I've been getting that question a lot
That's
lately
severe.
as to what
No.
causes it. And I know what caused our issue, but in a
no.
general sense, I don't know. So,
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Onward.
In season 1, Summer to Wander, while we were in Seattle, Patty made a major purchase. What did she buy? So in season 1, first time ever to go to Seattle, Patty made a major purchase. What did she buy? And if you remember, Truman was allowed to go into the store
Yes,
to make the
It
purchase.
was. Amy Pletcher's asking, is this a problem in travel trailers too? Well, not all travel
No.
trailers have glycol.
Right. So primarily it's the new camps and it's going to be some high-end Airstreams and some high-end Winnebagos here in the U.S. that use the Aldi heat system. Most travel trailers use, your standard forced air furnace, or they use a typical hot water heater. So
Okay.
no, it's only with the Aldi system.
And someone asked, can you please do a video on how to do those settings? So maybe that could be a video.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, Adam guessed In-N-Out Burgers, what I had to buy.
In-N-Out Burger. That's not a major purchase, Adam, but I like the way you think.
M&M's.
And actually, I don't think there's an In-N-Out Burger in Seattle.
M&M's.
M&M's.
New underwear. Starbucks at store number 1. A dog buggy. Wine. Starbucks. A purse. The doggy stroller.
Nobody remembers this episode.
iPhone. Cell phone. Gucci bag. Wine.
Maybe nobody is left from those days. Maybe all those people unsubscribed that watch those videos. Oh, wait. Oh, Mary Beth. But Mary Beth, you must really watch a lot of our videos because you are right. She said a cell phone.
Right, well, someone did too. Glenn Larish.
Oh,
and
Glenn
Kurt
said it too.
Meininger. Yeah,
Okay.
iPhone.
Okay, so
A bow tie.
a bow tie,
I like Allison, how she thinks shoes.
shoes. Actually, for Patty, that is a
That's
major
a good,
purchase.
It is a major purchase for me.
So no, it was
Wine.
actually a cell phone.
Yeah.
I don't remember why. I don't know if you were having issues or we just wanted to upgrade you for camera.
I think it was just an
But
upgrade.
we pulled in because there was an REI. It was actually in Bellevue. It wasn't actually Seattle proper. It was Bellevue, Washington. We went there. There was an REI. And we went in. Patty always will go in and ask first and then wave me in if I can bring Truman in or whoever. And she comes out and she goes, no. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. REI in Washington is not pet friendly. And mind you, they sell pet products. But anyway, that's beside the story. So there was a Trader Joe's. So there's some footage in that video of me going into Trader Joe's and stocking up. And then there was a Best Buy. And so we went in. And I was trying to upgrade Patty's phone, and the guy said, I said, oh, I got to go ask my wife what the passcode is. And he goes, well, can she come in? Is she here? And I said, yeah, but she's with our dog. And he goes, well, how big's your dog? And I said, because I think at the time Truman was probably a whopping 8 pounds.
Yeah.
And he said, bring him on in. We're pet friendly, as long as it's not like, a Rottweiler or something. And so Patty and Truman got to come in. Patty got her phone upgraded in Bellevue, Washington.
Yeah.
So.
Real quick, can you say hi to Patricia Martin? She says, hi, we are Kevin and Patty. Martin from Maryland. This is our first time.
Oh, welcome.
Let us know how this works. Well, right now we're playing a game.
So welcome. I don't know if you've ever watched any of our videos, but normally we have videos that go up every Sunday and every Thursday. We're an RV channel. We do, when we're traveling, which obviously we're not right now, we do travel videos. The rest of the year I try to do a lot of RV related videos, gear reviews and helpful tips, hints, things like that. Yep. But this is what we call our live stream. We don't do this on a regular basis typically. We just do it periodically. But during the COVID-19 dealie, we've been trying to do it on Friday nights, and we play games, basically. We played Family Feud 2 weeks ago. Last week we played Match Game. But this week we're just doing some questions related to the 3 years that we've been on YouTube. So welcome. We're really glad you're here. And if you want, you can check out our regular videos.
Okay.
Let's see. During our Going East series, which would have been in season 1, if you want to think of it, that Patty, when we were making these questions, I kept saying, well, that was in season 1, and Patty's like, I didn't even know we did seasons. Technically, we never labeled our videos. I just think of it as the first year, the second year, the third year. But anyway, during that first summer, we went east, and we held a contest for our viewers to guess how much what we went through on the trip, or how much what we purchased on the trip.
Exactly.
Yeah. So does anybody remember, was there anybody around that first summer? I know Lisa's not here tonight. Lisa was with us I believe that first summer, Lisa Beard, but I don't think she's in the room.
No. Adam's guessing ice.
Adam, have you been around since then?
He says he's been around since the beginning.
Okay. Adam, you have been here the longest.
Yeah.
So
Wine, gas, ice. Johnny's Journey's here. Hi, Johnny.
Oh, hey, Johnny. Johnny, I saw you put up an
gas,
excellent question for
wine.
Nomadic Fanatic. I hope he uses it.
Beer again, gas, fuel, toilet paper, maple syrup, firewood,
Toilet paper.
water,
We should have, Dad says ice.
ice.
We should have that's what we should do. If we get to
Beer.
travel this summer, we should have a contest where people guess how many rolls of toilet paper we'll go through.
Oh, boy.
We're getting pretty good at conserving.
Fuel, wine, LP, Aldi wine.
So ice is the correct
Ice,
answer.
Ice, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
Let me go with Let me go to the next question.
Oh, maple syrup would be good. We didn't. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Didn't use maple.
During that first season, we had a major appliance fail in our trailer.
Yep.
This is an easy question for some of you. What was the major appliance that failed in our trailer during that first season? And it failed on a regular basis.
It did. It was frustrating.
Somebody said, hey, water counts. Technically, water would count, yeah. If we're
Hey.
keeping score, yes, give yourself a point.
Okay.
And I'm
Sheets,
seeing
fridge,
yeah.
refrigerator, fridge, heating system, fridge, refrigerator, fridge,
Yep.
refrigerator,
Shelly even got that one.
fridge. Everybody, wine, fridge, refrigerator.
So yeah, if for those of you that don't know, our refrigerator from day one in our Jayco Hummingbird never worked properly on propane. And it started that summer in what we call the Going West series, where we went out west. And I ended up having to buy a cooler, and we were icing food. And then it seemed like it was working. And then we came home for a couple weeks, and we went out east for the family reunion. And the first day it wasn't working.
No.
So we held a contest, was how many bags or how many pounds of ice. I don't even remember what the answer was. I think over that 1 week trip, I think we bought like 100 pounds of ice or something crazy. So.
that's why we bought all that.
And that's
ice.
why we had, and I don't even remember who the winner of the contest was.
don't remember.
But that's been 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or, well, it'll be 3 years this
been a
summer.
while.
All right. In the first summer on YouTube, I referred to you, the viewers, as what? I had a name. I haven't used it since then, I don't think. It was only in that first season. I would periodically call you what as viewers? And I had totally forgot about this till we started watching the videos.
RW thinks we had 19 bags.
19 bags. We might have to go back and
I'll
watch
have to
that
watch.
video.
I can't
I don't
remember.
remember. And that was a short trip. Had we have done it when we went west.
Followers from Adam.
Adam nailed it.
He's on fire.
Adam.
I always tell my students they're in fuego. They're on fire.
Yeah, you can't
Outsiders.
stop Adam. You can only hope to contain him. Yeah,
Suckers.
it was. Adam is right, suckers. No. Outlaws. Watchers.
Yes.
Yeah. So that first summer, in some of the episodes, I will say things like, good morning, McFollowers.
Yeah.
Because obviously our last name's McCormick. But then at some point that summer, I said to Patty, I'm like, with our luck, McDonald's will sue us.
Yeah.
And so I and plus that just seems stupid, McFollowers. And then for a while we were calling everybody part of our caravan.
Yeah, it just
now
didn't click.
we just call you friends.
Yeah, that's
so.
right. Adam says he remembers. You do, Adam.
Yeah, that's awesome, Adam. Thank you. True or false? In season 2, when we went west, we were in Seattle and we had a clear view of. No, sorry.
What did you do there?
I
on
read the
that
question wrong. I read the question wrong.
What?
In season 3, true or false? Oops. Bloody Mary.
Oops.
Okay, let's start over. Season 3, which was last summer. True or false? When we went to Mount St. Helens, we had a clear view of Mount St. Helens. True or false?
False, yes.
We had a clear view of Mount St. Helens the day we went.
Someone says, cut you off.
Woo!
True. A guess of true.
I see a false. I see
How do you see them before
false.
me?
Well, I don't know. They're popping up here on my.
False. Trees. False.
Because you have a little bit of a delay.
True. False.
So-
Oopsie.
So, this one's going to be
That's
back
how
and
it
forth.
says.
Oopsie.
That's what we say. It's called oopsie. False. Yes, true. False.
False. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was false. The day we went to Mount St. Helens, it was cloudy and raining.
Drizzly
And the higher we got, the worse it got. And in fact, we never even made it to the. There's 3 visitor centers. And I know there's 2 ways to come in, but we were coming in from, I guess, the west. And there's 3 visitor centers. We made it to the second visitor center.
Real nice one, yeah.
And they had told us that there's no view when you get up there, but we thought, well, we've come this far, we'll keep driving. And we went a little bit further, and it got to where I couldn't even see where I was going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
very low clouds,
we found a
yes.
turn off and turned around and went back down.
Yep.
So we never did really get to see Mount St.
That's
Helens.
like when last weekend we watched Traveling Robert. When
He had a crystal clear
and
view.
it was beautiful.
Oh, I
and I was
know.
like, oh, this is what we missed.
What I was referencing in season 2 was in season 2, which was the first summer we had ever, or the first time we'd ever been in Seattle. The day we were in Seattle, Jeff, our friend, and Shelly had suggested we go over to, I think he referred to it as West Seattle or something. Shelly will probably tell me what that is. But, and it's kind of higher. It was a crystal clear day, most beautiful view of Mount Rainier.
It was gorgeous.
And we were told, like, we were lucky that you don't always get that out there. So,
Couple hellos
Hey.
here to Randy's Adventures. Hi,
hey, Randy, welcome, our friend Randy.
Ron and Cindy from
Yep.
Ron Black 45. They
Yep.
said hello from Virginia.
Hi, guys, welcome.
Yeah.
And all
Okay.
right. Hey, Randy, that was a good video you just
Yeah.
put out on the interview with the Scamp owners.
Yeah.
I found that very interesting.
Enjoyed it.
And enjoyed that. So, okay. Nomadic Fanatic collects magnets. What do we collect? This could be a really easy one.
Yeah. Diane Sky Ski says, hi, Patrick and Patty.
Hi, Diane. Hope you're doing well.
Pins, says Adam. Russ and Carrie, pins.
Stickers, refrigerators. I didn't see who said that, but that's a good one. Refrigerators. Wine. Actually, technically, that could be true, the wine.
Buttons, pins, buttons. Stickers, wine, pins.
Ornaments. Oh, that's a good one.
Pins on a pillow.
Pins on a pillow.
Pillow. Bags of ice. Pins. Ornaments, pins. Pins for Patty's pillow. Stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is, the correct answer is
Patches.
pins.
Yep.
Now, collecting pins, we have to give credit to Mandy Lee.
Yes.
So when we first started, well, actually before we started our YouTube channel, we watched Mandy's channel,
Yeah.
and she would collect pins, and she had curtains in her tab. I don't even know if it was her tab 320 or if it was her tag. I don't remember.
I can't remember
And
which
she would put pins on her curtains in her trailer, and we were like, that's a good idea. So we started collecting pins.
And the hummingbird.
And the hummingbird had these valances that were padded, and we could push them in and they would stay. And so we were putting them on the valances in the,
Yeah, and buzz.
I guess that's what you call them, like a valance.
Kind of like that. It was just
The
like
wood,
the wood that went
yeah.
around the window. It was real pretty.
So every time we go someplace unique, we try to buy a pin
Yeah.
so that we can look back. Well, when we got the 400, there's really no place
No.
to stick them without, I mean, we never want to damage the trailer. So we found this pillow, and now we have a pillow. Sometimes you'll see it in videos when we're sitting at the dinette. And what's great is we can go out to the trailer and look through those pins, and it just brings back lots of
I
memories.
could tell you which, because I have them in columns,
Right.
like which travel trip we had for this, and this. Yeah.
And what's great about the pins, unlike stickers, John and Kristen from No Ordinary Path was showing us this summer when we were with them. They collect stickers. John's been putting them on the outdoor kitchen.
Yeah, that's neat.
Where it flaps up, and so when he's cooking, he's got all these stickers to place them in. But like John said, if they ever trade in,
They don't have them.
then yeah. So Windy, that's the name of their
Yeah,
trailer.
Windy.
Yeah.
Found the fidgets are so nice. They said we put your sticker on a magnet and it's on the fridge in the camper now.
That's funny because we actually have your magnet on our refrigerator in our camper.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Okay.
that was an easy one.
Yep.
Okay, everyone almost, and if you don't know this, well, I'm shocked, but everyone knows that we met up with our friends Russ and Carrie from the Roads We Roam last summer. Can you name another YouTuber that we hung out with last summer while we were on our trip? So everybody knows we hung out with the Roads We Roam.
Beautiful
And
campsite.
Roads We Roam says, you did?
We did. Beautiful campsite. Good grief. Grand Tetons. Gorgeous. Couldn't get so lucky.
Randy says, Randy, I should have told you not to say anything. She says, me.
Yes.
Okay, so now Randy's Adventures is off the list. Who else?
Rosie Rome says, can we answer?
No, he had somewhere. Okay, I'm getting other people.
Getaway Gang.
Yep. Nope.
DNS Adventures.
Who said that?
Russ and Carrie.
Oh, Russ and Carrie, yes. We got to meet Shane from DNS Adventures. Actually, so did Russ and Carrie. We camped with Randy at Frontenac.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
I think so.
Frontenac?
Frontenac? I think it's Frontenac.
Randy, you can't even correct me because I know how to spell it. I just can't say it.
Yeah.
But we camped with Randy in Minnesota.
We sure did.
And there was one other out west that we met up with. I did see somebody say the RV Odd Couple. Yes, they were in Shipshewana. They stopped, or they came and hung out with us there. But out west, what was the name of the other? And it was not the Getaway Couple. That's a good guess.
Pinot Grigio. Nomadic Fanatic. We didn't meet up, but we did see his
We
rig.
could technically take that as an answer because we didn't get to meet Nomadic, but if you saw the episode last summer where we were in Leavenworth, his rig was parked in Leavenworth, but it was later in the evening. He was awake because he has that massive TV, and we could actually see him in there watching TV. But I wasn't going to stop and go up and knock on. I mean, I just never do that to somebody.
Johnny says Johnny's Journey.
Yes, we met Johnny's Journeys in Shipshewana. So the other YouTuber, though, that we met or hung out with last summer out west was No Ordinary Path.
Yes.
John, Kristen, and their three kids. John, and by the way, if you want some inside information on coronavirus, check out No Ordinary Path's channel. Because John is a travel nurse, and he has been doing some videos about what he's seeing. Now, they're currently out in Arizona. I think he might be done. His assignment was up, or is coming up, and then they are headed to Asheville, North Carolina. Yep. That's his next assignment as a travel nurse. But John's put out a couple good videos that I think... Well, here's the thing. I know John. We met them, and I trust what John's saying. Right. And when he kind of has a calming effect. Like he's saying, take this very seriously. Like, but at the same time, he has almost a calming effect.
He's good at his being with people. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We have basically 4 minutes, babe.
Okay. Name the state park where the Oregon Campout was held last summer. We actually ended up staying there twice. We liked it so much. Yep. So that's where we had stayed when we had to return from California to get glycol. But what was the name? Does anybody remember the name? And don't worry if you don't get the spelling right.
Yeah. I wish we'd have met. Someone said let's jump more journey, but we haven't met them.
No, we haven't met. I don't think we've met anybody larger than us because nobody wants to meet us. But that's okay. Hey, we love the people we've met. Yes. I mean, we have so many good friends in the YouTube community. So many, and we love all of them.
So many good friends. Randy's like,
This is a tough one.
This is a toughie.
I thought maybe there's some
going back in to watch it.
I was hoping somebody would have been here. Okay, I'll just give it to you because it's a tough one. We stayed at Shampooey State Park. Did somebody get it?
Shelley says Shipshewana.
Shipshewana. Yeah. No, in Oregon, the campout was held at Shampooey State Park. But what was weird about it is it's spelled like CHAM,
like champagne,
POEG. Yeah. And thanks to Debbie Falls, who helped me organize that one.
Nice
she told me, she goes, just think of washing your hair. Shampooey. And if you ever get out there, it's south of Portland, and it's a very nice state park. So.
Thank you, Patricia March. We would love to meet you.
Oh, we would love to meet too. We do currently have 2 campouts on the books. We're hoping they're going to still go. July 7th through the 10th in West Yellowstone, Montana, and then October 9th through the 12th in somewhere in Vermont. I can't remember the little town.
We'd love to meet you too, Donna Delahante.
So, and then I did have a couple people reach out to me this week wanting to know if we were going to schedule any more campouts. And honestly, at this point, we're not because of what's going on. We just can't see really making plans at this point. Yeah. I will be honest, we had planned to do a third campout in either Wisconsin or Minnesota this summer, either on our way out west or on our way back. but I'm just reluctant to schedule anything at this point because we don't even know if we'll get to go.
Yeah, we're just not sure. We're just gonna wait.
And if there's anybody in here that is going to, Dad says he had a reservation. He did have a reservation for shampoo. He ended up making it to Iowa instead. It was a lot closer for him. Oh, if anybody is planning to go to Vermont, you have a reservation, they wanted me to let everybody know, and remind me, I've got to update the website.
Okay.
They are not taking deposits.
Right.
So a lot of people like me had called in, made our reservation this winter, because the lady was not in the office. She couldn't take credit cards. So she was going to call us all in April. And she called and just said they're hoping they will be open in October, but they decided, as opposed to taking reservations and then potentially having to refund them all, they're just going to hold our reservations without a deposit. So
Jeff Hickman says it's Brandon, Vermont. Does that sound?
that sounds right, Jeff. Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm going to buy the super large bottle of ketchup and bring to the Campout for you. So Jeff likes his ketchup.
And poor Donna says she's had to cancel 3 reservations this year. I can believe they have.
We haven't canceled
Not yet.
anything, mainly because we don't make well, that's not true. We did have a reservation for Carabel Beach, Florida
For
that we
spring
did
break,
cancel.
yeah.
But
That didn't
as
happen.
many of you know, we tend to not make reservations. We don't like being tied down by reservations.
Yeah.
The only time we make reservations is like at a camp out or over a holiday. Otherwise, we have no reservations about having no reservations, as I always like to say. I know some people can't believe that we travel that far without reservations, but we've never had an issue. I mean, I'm not going to say that we haven't
Struggled a little bit.
a little bit.
But we usually have
But we're
between
smart.
Harvest Host and,
Yep.
especially when you're out west, Harvest Host,
Host,
BLM,
National Forest,
we-
Walmart's,
we can-
Cracker Barrels.
We can usually find
Yeah.
something to get us where we want to be. So. Okay.
Okay, and it looks like the last one we have here is, does anybody, this is a really hard one, but okay. During Going West series, I started using the ending line, see you on down the
This
road.
is a
Does
toughie.
anybody know in which episode? Because that first summer, each episode was like number 1, number 2, number 3. Take your best guess. I think there were 21 episodes in Going West. In what episode did I say, and we'll see you on down the road?
The third.
The third.
That's from Russ and Carrie. I think I've seen the third. This is a tough one.
5th. Did Adam say the 5th? The 7th.
Second.
3rd. 14th.
Fourth.
Hey, Lou's here. I just seen RV Habit. Lou, Patty won't let me watch her videos anymore. She says I spend too much money.
5, 7, 3rd, 1st, 10th.
So, yeah, I like to see it. So these are all guesses. Because, honestly, we had to go back and watch them.
8th.
Who said that?
Karen Milinarski.
Carrie Milinarski, ding, 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 ding.
Ding.
You are the winner.
lucky
It was,
winner.
but here's what's interesting. In episode 8, at the end of the show, I said, and we'll see you on down the road. I don't even think I did the hand motion. Did not do it in episode 9 or 10. It wasn't until episode 11 that I actually started doing it on a regular basis. So, and for those of you wondering, like, where did I came up with that? I honestly don't know where I came up with it. It literally just rolled off my tongue when we were shooting video. So,
Well, goodbye, Glenn. He says goodbye. Stay safe. Stay deep in your bunker.
thank you so much for stopping by. So that's it on our
I like
questions.
Mary Beth. I meant 8th.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions that you want to ask us? We're in no hurry here. So, and I don't think there's anybody behind us
Jeff
tonight.
says I can't count
Well,
that high.
I'm sure there's several people live streaming tonight, but nobody that I know that I'm worried about. So,
Adam says I want to watch all those episodes again. Oh,
yeah,
thank
it was
you,
kind
Adam.
of fun, Adam, when we
had
were
fun.
watching them. I mean,
We're like
there's things.
cringing, going, ugh.
Yeah, but there were just things that I had
You're like,
forgotten
"Oh."
about, and so it's kind of fun to go
Well,
back
seeing
and
Delaney was fun.
So let's see if there's any questions. Yes,
Have a happy
and
Easter,
happy
everybody.
Easter to all of you. Please be safe and just stay healthy. So,
Yeah.
any news on West Yellowstone? No, Shelley. Our plan is still to go. We haven't heard anything from West Yellowstone. But our plan is to still go unless we just absolutely can't. But I don't think we'll know that until at least June.
I think it's going to have to be a little bit.
So.
Adam's asking, will you be staying at Fort Wilderness when you go to Florida in December?
That's actually a good question. We haven't booked anything. We need to get something booked. We haven't really even talked about where we're staying. We'll probably try to get in for a couple nights. We can't, I mean, honestly, I can't afford to stay there over Christmas for more than maybe 3 nights.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably try to stay there. And Adam, I don't know how close you are to Orlando, but obviously, and I know it's a holiday, so it's always hard because you're with family. We may try to do like maybe not a camp out even, just do like a meetup in Orlando over Christmas break. So
Michael McFarland says, "Shut up, Patty. I'm a middle school teacher."
oh,
too."
400 miles. Oh, that's kind of a ways for you.
Oh, cool.
Something. And so do not bring something to Vermont. I missed that.
Where's it? Which one do you think it was? Let me see. So do not bring any M&Ms to Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've really been, we've
I
done
just
good.
cut back.
We really cut back on our
yeah.
sugar. We're trying. Okay. Thanks, Dave. We'll see you. He said he's heading now. I'm
Kern
working.
says pretty good triple play of live chats tonight with Air Force Guy, Traveling Robert, and Travels with Delaney.
Yeah, I know it was, and also who was live streaming right before us was RV Lifestyle, the Wetlands. In fact, I said to Patty, I'm like, okay, we had Traveling Robert at 6, the Wetlands at 7, and then we were at 8, and we're like the tiniest of the channels, so it feels like we should have been.
Stop Eat Explore says, are you going to Tampa next year? I don't know.
It depends on it depends on what Mama Carrie says. Okay, if Mama Carrie says I'm coming to Tampa to kick off the Alaska tour, then I'm coming to Tampa. If she says no, we're going to Texas in April to kick off Alaska. I don't even know why I called her Mama Carrie. Somebody calls her Mama Carrie. I can't remember who, but so I don't know. Right now, we're kind of thinking that we'll go to, or at least I will go to Tampa, possibly Patty.
It just depends because since we have the Vermont meet out, so.
But there was talk. But we have also talked about kicking off the Alaska tour. And when we say kick off, we don't mean actually leave from there to go to Alaska, but to do like a media event type deal. So we're throwing around ideas, but there's been one talk that we would do that in Tampa. But then there was also talk possibly of doing it at Princess Craft RV later in April over Patty's spring break. So
already for Orlando meetup, Avenger RV Adventure says,
"Oh, great!
I'd love to come." And Phil Hampton says, "We'll be in Orlando for Christmas. The meetup would be fun."
Great,
cool.
Yeah, so we'll kind of plan on doing just like a meetup where we'll try to find a restaurant or something that will host us, and we can all just hang out and talk and have a good time.
Yep.
Any other questions?
I don't see any at the moment. No.
All right. Well, again, everybody have a really happy Easter this weekend and continue to be safe.
Yep.
I know it stinks. It stinks for us being stuck in. I'm sure it does for you. But just remember, we're doing it for not only our own health, but for other people's health. And I haven't got to see my dad now in a couple weeks. I haven't seen my niece Sam in several weeks. But we stay away from them just because we don't want to risk getting anybody sick. So
yeah, you talk to him about every day.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right, everybody. I think that's going to do it for us, and we'll see you
on down the road.
Good night.
Bye.